Hello, Parsons Collab Design for Literacy students. This is Marcos, and this is our week 4 going to week 5 recap briefing video. So we've got a quick one today as we are simply continuing on our baby board book design. Just make sure after our great Zoom small group meetings on Thursday. We got a lot of good progress from everybody and a lot of great feedback shared from myself and from your fellow classmates. So take all that in and understand it. Don't necessarily listen to every single thing suggested. Weigh it and see if it's a good idea or try it. And if it works, great. But just take the feedback as suggestions or considerations and just continue on to develop your design. At this point now, you should be nailing down the style you're doing, your your color scheme, your typography choices. You might still be making decisions here and there, but you should be getting as the week progresses for sure. This needs to be buttoned up as you focus on implementing this onto all the spreads um, as the plan over the next 2 weeks. And if you need, of course, share your progress with me as you work on it. But let's take a look quickly at the schedule. We are passing part 3 now, and we're going to go to design finalization week, part 4. And that'll give us 2 more weeks of full weeks of work, with part 6 being when the final files will be due. I'll give you a little time to work on putting those together. So what you should do right now is assess how much you have to go to finish your full book and kind of divide it by two, and then plan on getting at least half of it done so that you have one more week's worth of work by the time you get to our next class. Um, and I think everybody's in pretty good shape with that. So basically, what you should be doing is continue to develop your spreads, and they should start getting more final looking, like you see here in this example from a past student. Remember, you have your storyboards and consult that and make sure everything's working out well. And at this point now, you can start doing nuance changes. You can start looking at typography. You can start looking at how to make the illustration even better, um, and be producing a cover, a concept, or a cover design that's finalized with your illustration being fulfilled. But you can still be making decisions. Like I know this student here on the center here decided to put penguins on the cover instead of having nothing there because it looks cool here that they're on top of the hill in the center spread at the top here. But in reality, it would just be an empty hill if you folded that book down and the back would be not seen when you're looking at the front. So don't fall for that trap of thinking the back and the front are that connected. They are, but they aren't at the same time. So don't overdo that. Um, and be and still be in editing mode with your text. Read it out loud. We did some dad voice read alouds at our group meetings, and that was helpful just to run through it to see how it sounds when somebody reads out your book, and we can do that on the next class as well. Um, but basically, remember that you don't necessarily have to have a presentation for this next week, but you continue to build your presentation overall. You do need to submit something next week, so you might as well just keep adding on to your presentation like this. And then remember the bleed, and a good example of the bleed is here. We do see that these illustrations and this on the left and the color on the right, these will need to go bigger than you see here. So if you were this person, you'd have to make sure that you drew the drawing a little bit bigger, or were okay with me making the illustrations all a little bit bigger because of the red line needing to be where the photo actually or the artwork actually goes to, enlarging it bigger than the actual page. So remember that. Remember to keep using your template and follow the standards. Don't move this stuff around. Work around it. Everyone's doing great with that. I put a new um, assignment briefing on Canvas, and there's our part 4 design finalization Google Drive link is the one we'll use for the next class. And of course, there's the YouTube um, baby board book silent video page throughs are still up there for you to review if you need to get some inspiration or take a look at some previous books. So work towards getting as much done as you can so that you have one more week after this next class. And what I think we'll be doing in our next class in part is when we review part four, design finalization, is we'll meet in the classroom and we'll have small groups, peer-to-peer groups with your fellow classmates, and I'll also do individual meetings for me to check in with everybody on your progress and get just a quick view of what you're doing and give you some feedback to make sure you can go to the home stretch looking good. All right, everybody, keep going on your assignments and let me know if you need me to if you need any feedback from me, feel free to email me, and I will be available to give you any advice or impressions. And if you need a Zoom session, just let me know. All right, guys, thanks.